Welcome back to our special edition of the Hilton Head News, discussing the Gateway Corridor and the Highway 278 project, along with Mayor John McCann and Town Manager Marc Orlando. I'm Bob Stevens. An awful lot of things have to come together in a fairly short period of time. One of the things I think that the state has mentioned is that the current project, timeline-wise, could just be a 3-year deal with building separate bridges and not renovating the old bridges instead of a 5-year deal. And I would imagine an awful lot of people on the island would say, hooray to that, with a limited amount of disruption over the next few years.
Well, to be honest, it's going to be disruption. I mean,
Yeah,
we
sure.
just
Yeah.
and hopefully they'll build one brand new bridge and take down the old ones, because you don't want to patchwork anything.
Right.
Got to come back and do it. And after we beautify the the parkway coming in, and take care of the speed and everything, when the cars get to Hilton Head and they get down to Sea Pines or wherever it's going to be along the way, we have to do something to provide a place for those cars to park and those cars to go. If we're talking a couple thousand more cars a day, we're not adequately supplied to do that at all right now. So we have to take a very serious look, and Marc's already started, at what kind of parking we provided, where we put the parking, how we get the people from the beach from the parking. There's a whole world out there that has become ours and ours alone to figure out how to take care of it along the way.
Yeah, and
It's
we
a
need
big
to
part of the
stress
process.
that's not part of this specific process, but it is certainly the end result is going to be.
That's right.
That's going to need to be taken
That's
care
right. And that's what Marc's looking at now.
of. Is that going to be that's going to be a challenge?
Well, sure, it's a challenge, but I think the message really and the approach is that we're not just looking at the gateway from the bridge to Spanish Wells in a bubble. We're really taking a look at the capacity of the entire roadway network, right, from Moss Creek to Sea Pines, but also the impacts to our beach, the impacts to the residents, and so we're really looking at it from that lens.
Okay. Town council has to approve. Then what? The county, then the state. Take us through the timeline of what has to happen.
Right. So
Whatever it is.
I think the biggest next step, right, the next milestone is hearing back from the DOT on the compilation of the public comment, right? So I think to council's benefit, the 7 elected officials on Hilton Head Island, they need to hear from DOT what the public in Hilton Head and in the region have commented before we can get too far along, right? We kind of think we know what it's going to be. So that's an important next step. At some point soon, I think that we'll definitely meet with Beaufort County to make some collective, local as well as collective points of view made. I also think that our position needs to be stated clearly to the Department of Transportation so that they're not just relying upon the public comment or what I say as an example. So that's coming. I think those are 2 important steps. This will be in front of council at some point sooner than later for their formal input. That timeline is TBD, waiting on the DOT.
Yeah. Senator Tom Davis's name hasn't been mentioned yet, and I know he's a critical name in trying to help bring this all together too, isn't he?
Sure. Marc and myself met with the senator 2 weeks ago, and when we get to the part of the process where we need help from Columbia, the senator is going to set up a meeting with the Secretary of DOT and Transportation to make sure that we got our point across. Marc, he's been very helpful to Marc and me, and we look forward to working with him.
Ballpark me. How close are we from turning a shovel full of dirt?
Oh, I don't have that answer today, so you're going to have to invite me back when I have some better information.
But a year, 2 years, 5 years?
I don't know. I think we're about 2 to 3 months away from town council having a position, and where we go from there, we don't know.
Okay. Not going to be quick. It's still going to take us a little while.
Correct.
It's going to be good when it's finished, though.
And it has a chance of being finished in our lifetimes? You and I teased each other about that. We got a chance to live this long?
You know the Viking story when they put you in the canoe and you're across and shoot the arrows and burn you up?
Yeah.
Well, if the bridge is in here, that's how we're going to get to the other side. Okay?
We'll be back to wrap things up in just a moment.